21 months ago, I weighed around 95 kg. I felt heavy. I didn't feel very agile at all. I was quite bloated and quite like a lot bigger. And it wasn't in a good way either. I just couldn't run anywhere. I couldn't really walk upstairs without getting tired. It was really weird and it was really unusual to feel like that. I have times when I remember just eating so much food, like to the point where you'd throw up, and it just like I was doing this all in the name of bulking. I was trying to get big and I was trying to get stronger. And I thought the best way to do it was just eat every food and any food and just eat a lot of it. So I was eating so much food each day, just too much at that point, just keep on eating and eating and eating. And this led to me just not being in good shape at all, being at about 95 kg point and just feeling so just bloated and just slow. And I remember at one time I used to do running, and then I stopped while I was like bulking and whatnot. I mean, I was like, I'm gonna start running again and start getting more athletic. So I ran to Tesco's, which is a mile away. I remember that being like the hardest run, the most tiring one I've ever done. I was running, and my quads were like just burning, like just for legs, like my legs didn't handle that much weight, and I was panting like out of breath, and I had sweat pouring down my forehead. And it was only a mile. It wasn't far at all, and it felt at that point, there was a point where I was like, wow, I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to be just strong and big. As it just didn't help. It weren't very helpful for like everyday life. As if I wanted to play football with my friends or I want to play basketball, anything like that, I'd be out of breath so quickly. I'd be so tired and like everything would hurt. So I wanted to change it. I wanted to become athletic. I had a vision. I had a goal of like a hybrid athlete. And what this is a guy who runs, who lifts, who like he didn't just do everything. Like you're good at everything. You're a trick of all trades. So I was at this point where I was like, I've got to change. I've got to fix whatever I'm doing wrong. So the first thing I looked at was my diet. So I realized I was just eating the wrong foods as I was trying to get bigger. But the only foods I was eating was unhealthy foods, as they had a lot of calories in it, these unhealthy foods, like a pizza and whatnot. So they're easy to eat to gain weight. But the problem was you're not gaining like good weight. You're not gaining the muscle with those. Instead, I was gaining the fat. I was just getting bigger and getting more chubby with it and not getting much muscle at all. So I had to change my food, and I had to change it to like good, healthy foods. And if you want to find out how you can change your foods into good, healthy foods, DM me on Instagram down below. But I had to go from eating a diet of like pizzas, Pop-Tarts, Belgian buns, stuff like that, to whole foods, foods that Mother Nature made. These foods are just like the foods you could imagine Cristiano Ronaldo eating. The foods that like lions eat, the foods that genuine like predator animals eat. This is like meats, like fruit and vegetables, but like predominantly more meats. And this is like, because this has the secret source of protein. This boosts us up, this builds our muscles. This is what gets us in good shape and makes us strong. And like without these foods, without having these and just mainly eating like sugar and whatnot, you gain fat. And I found that out for myself. I was just 95 kg and a lot bigger. So I tried to switch it over. I was eating like eggs in the morning, chicken for lunch, and like steak for dinner. This was the majority of the foods that I was eating each day. And that's when I started to see progress. That's when I started to like go from 95 kg and start to cut down. But I was pretty strong. I was still benching over 100 kg while I was losing about like 10 kg of weight. I was about 80 kg, but I was still able to bench a lot. But while I started to like fix my diet and that started to get patterns and get better, I started to pick up exercise, started to pick up cardio. As my whole gym journey to that point, all I did was lift weights. I didn't do any cardio at all. Like, I didn't go on the stair machine or anything. I just lifted weights. But now I started to make my heart healthier, make my like full body healthier. So I picked up cardio, I picked up running, and I wouldn't run like strenuous, really far distances like a marathon and whatnot each day. But I was like, I'd run 2K, I'd run 3K, I'd like just set a little goal and I'd just keep going for runs. And it weren't like, it didn't have like any goal in mind. I didn't want to run a marathon or anything. I was just running because I saw David Goggins and stuff doing it. I was like, okay, let's start running, let's start getting healthier that way. And that helped a lot. As each run, like, I saw my resting heart rate get healthier and healthier. This means my heart's more efficient and it's pumping oxygen around my body easier. This meant that like I'm getting healthier, I'm getting fitter. And when I'm getting fitter, like it's just easier to do everything. It's easier to walk upstairs, it's easier to play football, and you just feel in good shape. So I set a goal to get my steps in every day. Either I was like walking a lot or I'd just go for a run. And either way, I'd get my 10K steps in. And this somehow burnt a lot of fat. I'd never expected it to, I never thought it would. But it made me a lot leaner, a lot quicker. As you're just being active, you're doing some low intensity activity, and it was just burning the fat, and I was getting leaner, I was getting stronger with eating healthy foods and still going to the gym. But it all started to work together with each other. It was like a beautiful combination, and it started to just get the physique that I wanted. And one more thing that I did in the 21 months that did change a lot as well is I stopped putting sauce on every food I ate, because my whole life, all the time, tomato ketchup, barbecue sauce, and salad cream was like, I'd have that with every food. It doesn't matter what it was, like if it was pizza, chips, anything and everything, I just have sauce on it. And sauce is like packed with sugar. It doesn't taste like it is, but it is. And once I found that out, I realized like that's a big constraint, and that's something I'm having a lot of each day, and it's impacting me a lot. So I had to cut out sauce. I couldn't like just cold turkey it and never have sauce again. It's like, I really love sauce. I really, really liked it. So instead, I just had to slowly reduce it over time and like progressively cut it out. So I had like sauce for 2 meals, but not for one. Then it started to, I had sauce only for 1 meal, then none, and like that. But that took time as well. But for all the things that I did, eating healthy and staying consistent to that is what burnt me the most fat and gained me muscle. As like, the foods is everything to you. It's like your fuel. It's like what gets you going each day. And if you don't have like good fuel, you're not going to get going anywhere. So eating healthy foods just changed the game for me, and it kept me like on the good path. So if you want to find out how you can eat healthier foods, DM me on Instagram down below. Apart from that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.